So this is a follow-up to a video I did, I don't know, a week or two ago, um, talking about Dick Tracy. This is from Mezco, Dick Tracy versus Flat Top box set. And so I kind of considered the possibility that this was going to be just a one and done, that we were going to see Dick Tracy and Flat Top and that would be it. And that wouldn't be uncommon for Mezco. They kind of jump around a lot. They don't do mass producing of figures. Um, for instance, the DC line, they do produce a lot of DC figures, but compared to some of the other sort of middle tier or lower tier companies, they produce just a fraction. But just a few days ago, they announced Pruneface. So that's the second villain. And this is a pretty big one now. This is coming out. This is first quarter 2024, so that's a year away. And that could definitely be pushed back. Figures from Mezco get pushed back all the time. And that doesn't mean that they're going to be producing a whole line of Dick Tracy villains. This could be the final one. I think every single one could be the final one. But there are so many villains. But Pruneface and Flat Top are definitely two of the top. And Flat Top is probably the most well-known of all of his villains. So here is Pruneface. And Pruneface came out in 1942, so he is one of the earliest villains. It's been a long time since I've read this storyline. I believe he was a Nazi spy, something like that. And so here's some images of Pruneface. So this is Pruneface from the movie that came out in, the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. It was an interesting movie. If anyone has seen the Dick Tracy movie with Warren Beatty, it was an interesting movie. I'm not surprised it was a one-and-done movie. I think I'm almost positive they intended to possibly produce a series of movies. I don't think it was helped by the fact that they killed pretty much all the major villains in the first movie. Was a really weird decision. Here's him from the original comic book. So, it was a little strange. I know the usage of color was intended to mimic the comic strip. I'm not sure it worked, but and I don't know if I've ever gone back and maybe watched it, but it's been decades since I've watched it, and I just haven't felt the need to go back and revisit it. But I'm pretty excited about this one, and I'm pretty excited that they're gonna. Hopefully, we'll see. I might have to go through and look at. So there he is, right there. Pretty good interpretation. I have to go through and look at the various Dick Tracy villains, and see which ones they might do after Pruneface if they continue on. Like I said, you're going to have to be very patient. That's a year away, and I can tell you that a lot of the figures I have on that I ordered from Mezco, they get pushed back a lot. I have a 3-pack from Zack Snyder's, with 3 characters from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I just got an email. It was supposed to be released, I think, in January. It's been pushed back to July. So I also, I pre-ordered 3 G.I. Joe figures and yet to get a single one. And again, that shows you, and there hasn't been a new one announced in forever, that they are willing to take a franchise and just make a few figures from that. I don't know if they're ever going to announce another G.I. Joe character, but have yet to get any of them. They keep getting pushed back. I'm not going to blame. I mean, I guess I could blame Mezco for constantly pushing these back. Certainly would make sense, but I got a lot of pre-order. But whatever. I love the figures. I'd rather they put the time and effort into it. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, he's probably. I believe that he used that to communicate with the Nazis, and that's a classic Nazi gun, and kind of the look Ah, that is nice. Oh, I'm going to be impatient waiting for Pruneface. There he is with Dick Tracy. There he is hitting Dick Tracy with a pistol whipping him. So you get 3 heads. Well, let's see. I guess 3 alternate. Oh, so there's 4 heads total, 3 interchangeable head portraits. Let's see. Okay, so you get all sorts of stuff. A gas mask, gas bombs, typewriter with spy radio. I'm going to have to read these stories again. Some sunglasses, a fedora, knife, some shooting effects. Wow, look at that. All right, how much is this? $95? That's actually not bad. For all you get, that's pretty good. And that suit looks really nice. So anyway, if you like the Dick Tracy characters, and I did a video a while back on my feelings about Dick Tracy, which I own every single one of these IDW books, and it takes up most of a bookshelf. It's one of these things where I have to separate the character from the creator, because I think Chester Gould's politics were awful, absolutely awful. And he got just worse over the years. I think early on, maybe the first few decades, perfectly fine. And he, I don't know what his views were, but probably similar. But he at least kept it in check, and then things got worse and worse. But I'm not going to take away what he's done, what he's created, the enduring effect of Dick Tracy, and just the quality of it. There were definitely issues with his writing. I don't remember any issues with his art. His art was really, really amazing. I just don't think I would be could possibly be friends with Chester Gould, because his politics were so, in my opinion, gross. But he did create Dick Tracy, and I enjoy it immensely, and I look forward to these figures. So if you're a Dick Tracy fan, or if you just like beautiful figures, these look really, really nice. So anyway, that's Mezco's Dick Tracy 112 Collective Pruneface.